I'm Tonya Lahatte. I'm a functional medicine provider that specializes in treating mycotoxin illness. So if you follow me, you know I've had my own journey with mold. So I thought it would maybe be helpful if you knew my story, so that you can see that I really relate to this, and you will be able to see the passion that I have for this syndrome. One of the problems that we face with mycotoxin illness is not very well understood in allopathic medicine, and many patients go undiagnosed and untreated, and they're given the wrong diagnosis, for whatever they have, with no hope of cure, and this is debilitating physically and emotionally and financially. So what happened with me, when I was getting my functional medicine training, they had taught us how to screen for mold. They didn't teach us how to treat mold, but they told us how to screen for mold. I knew it was a complex condition and it took a lot of training to do it properly. And I said, you know what, I've got enough to do here. I'm going to just leave this to somebody else, God bless them, because those patients are sick as they can be. Most of them have mental issues such as incredible depression. They have brain fog from where, so what you tell them they can't remember in 5 minutes. And I was like, God bless you, you little mold treating providers, I'm going to leave this alone. Well, if you tell the universe you're not going to do something, you just better wait, because the universe is going to tell you what you're going to do. Well, I started coming down started having night sweats, and I had been on hormone replacement therapy for probably 8 years when this happened, and I had never had to change my dose. And I was like, okay, so why am I having these profound night sweats? And then I started having depression, and it was a black hole depression. I mean, a suicidal like depression, and I'd be sitting at the table and I would be telling my husband, I am so depressed. I am so depressed. And I didn't have anything to be depressed about. I had 3 wonderful children. I had a thriving functional medicine practice. Everything in my life was good, and I just couldn't understand why I felt this way. Then I started having all of these funky symptoms in which I had what I call temperature dysregulation, and I would be freezing when I'm in 100 degrees and burning up when I'm in 0 degrees. My hands would turn black. I would have these sharp pains that I call ice pick pains that would shoot through my body. And at night, I would rigor. This is a type of convulsion for those of you who, it looks kind of like a small seizure, for those of you who aren't medical. And my husband would have to run a tub of hot water, and I couldn't make my way to the tub to get in the tub to put me in this hot water so that I could stop rigoring and shaking so violently. I had no capacity whatsoever to do anything. I used to run triathlons before I came down with mycotoxin illness or chronic inflammatory response syndrome, and it was all I could do to make it up a flight of stairs. I would walk halfway up the stairs and have to stop and rest before I got to the top. I remember one time looking down, and my husband was watching me try to go up a flight of stairs, and this was an impossible task for me at the time, that I'm literally holding the handrail and just pulling myself up one flight of stairs. I used to have so many night sweats that I would change clothes 12 to 16 times a night, try to sleep through that, and I laid plastic bags out on my bed, and then I had to cover my pillows in plastic bags because I would saturate them and they would get mold and mildew all over them. And I would lay beach towels on top of my bed, and I would have a night sweat that I would drench the bed. I would drench the towel, and I would drench my clothes, and every night I would just put a pile of pajamas at the end of my bed, and I would get up because I'd be saturated, and I would literally just take my clothes off, put a new one on, pull the beach towel and throw it on the side of the floor. And in the morning I would get up, and it would be a big huge pile of wet stinky laundry that I would literally have to put in the wash machine every single day and start all over the night before. So I went to my regular physician and I was like, okay, what is wrong with me? And they ran every single test. They ran autoimmune tests. She sent me to a neurologist. She sent me to an endocrinologist, and every one of them said, there's nothing that's wrong with you. And I started feeling embarrassed to report my symptoms because it's like people thought I was crazy, and what is, almost every single patient that I have that establishes care that I figure out that they've got mycotoxin illness, they're crying before they're leaving and they're saying, so I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy. I'm like, no, you're not crazy. You have mycotoxin illness. So this is a devastating condition. It's an epidemic in the United States, and it's a tragedy that we don't have a better understanding and it's not better served in our medical community currently. But I'm creating a guide and a course and some things that can help guide you to see if mycotoxin are affecting your body, your family, if your home is safe. So I invite you to follow me, and thank you for spending your time with me today.